Hello everyone, my name is Fakado. Welcome to the online learning classroom course. So let's begin with the first one. So as you can see, this is the first course. The first course is known as online learning. We have three series of courses. This is online learning. The other one is learning management system, and the third one is Moodle. So this course gives you the foundation for the other two courses. And this course is designed for faculty and students of Paradigm University. It's given us an onboarding course for employees and all freshman students, because this is the base. Without this, it is really very difficult to learn and become effective in online and teaching courses. So let's begin with the background. So the background of this course gives us some figures and some facts about online learning. So the meaning of online learning or e-learning is learning by utilizing electronic technologies like internet to access educational curriculum outside of the traditional classroom. Online learning is very challenging because if you would like to produce a perfect online learning, you have to involve thousands of resources and plenty of time. And also it needs skill and professionals. Therefore, it is challenging, but it's rewarding because once it's done, students will enjoy learning from their homes, from everywhere, with any kind of smart technologies like cell phones or iPads or computers or laptops, whatever they have. And also, we can teach from certificate to PhDs. You can teach literally anything and everything, starting from short course company courses or on the job trainings to the most higher form of education. In terms of the participation of students in online learning, we can see few data given here. Like for example, in the United States, according to Arizona State University 2018 research, that time 5.8 million students were enrolled in the United States, and among them, 75% of them are undergraduates, and they are the age 25 and over. And 90% of students, for the surprise, really like online learning. They compare, as compared to traditional classroom, they really like it. And there are a number of companies which provide online learning access, and some of these companies are paid, some of them are free. So let's see some of the technological companies. Online learning developed in parallel with development of technologies, because the history of online learning is always parallel with the development of technology. The more technology develops, the more online learning also develops. That's how it went through. So online learning started in Britain in 1840 in the form of correspondence. And the person who started is known as Isaac Pitman. And once he started in 1840, it continued to develop. A few years after Pittman started this kind of correspondence, many universities in Europe followed his footsteps and continued to teach students by sending learning materials to their students via their regular postal parcel. And around 2015, this online learning has developed to the level where it becomes a CBT. It passes all the stages, all the way through radio learning and television learning, and the CBT means the computer-based training. This training is uh, different from online learning, but it has some part from online learning. The education is done by computers, but there is no need of internet connection. The students receive the learning materials with a compacted disk, and they can play the disk with their computers, and they'll learn from home or from office, from wherever they are. And even their tests might be administered on the computer. But when you say computer-based test, it doesn't necessarily mean online test. They have to be in some location to take the test. But instead of paper, they will really use uh, computers. That's the difference between online learning and CBT. But CBT is a very important part in the history of online learning. So early online course delivery started in around 1994, and computer-based learning, as we have already seen, has served as a bridge to move from the traditional paper-based distance learning to the fully fledged online learning. The introduction of MOOC around 2000 changed the course of online learning entirely. MOOC is a program which is designed by the Harvard University and MIT, and the idea is they put thousands of courses in a network, and when students, anyone can go and learn courses from that online course pool. The development of the MOOC is demonstrated in this picture as it is drawn by Hill. We can see that 2008 was a peak where online learning has been known very much, and through 2009, 10, as you can see, the connectivist branch of MOOC has already disseminated thousands of courses throughout the world through the portals, and 2011 is a very critical year. As you can see, the Stanford branch of MOOCs has also joined the movement, and from that point, several companies, including the Udemy, Udacity, and Coursera, these are very known online course delivery companies across the world, and especially in the United States. And the edX is also another part of MOOC, which provides courses, but it has books where. So this development has turned the landscape of online learning. Now today, it is around 2020 now, every single university in the world started or moving or has already started or is gonna start online learning, and the future of higher education will be really not possible without online learning, whether it's in Africa or somewhere else, sooner or later. And there are plenty of companies who has technologies for online learning, and some of the technologies are like talent learning management system like Tutara and Torch and Workday, and there are plenty of others. And those companies are either open source or proprietary. When you say open source, it is done by a group of professionals, coders, and the course is available for free. Anyone can download or take the code and do or use the software. But if it is proprietary, you have to pay some amount of money every year, and you can either use your own server if you'd like to use the open source softwares, or you have to use their own servers if in the case of proprietary softwares. So let's continue to the next section. How about the recognition and accreditation of online learning? Online learning, is it recognized? Is it accredited? This is another important issue, because many students would like to know whether their degree is going to help them to do something at the end. Of course, yes, the answer is yes. Previously, there has been a kind of attitude among the people who think online learning is inferior to traditional learning. But recently, this is not the case. As long as they are accredited, they are recognized by the government and the concerning bodies, both online learning and traditional learning can deliver your purpose. In Ethiopian context, there is an organization, as you know, HERCA, Higher Education Relevance and Quality Assurance Authority. That authority usually is entitled to give accreditation for every single university or college who would like to continue or to teach online in one or more departments. So if you like to make sure that whether a particular institution has been accredited or not, you have to go to the HERCA website. Here is a website, herca.edu.it, and you can see a list of courses and which departments they are certified, which are not, and everything is there. And from there, you can decide. But in general, uh, online learning is accredited. The other one is the technical requirements. What do we need to become an effective online learner or online student? It is not like complicated. There are few basic requirements, of course. The first one is anyone with either one of the smartphones or tablet or computer or laptop, and if you have internet connection anywhere, that is one of the fundamental requirements that anybody would like to join online uh, college or university should make sure. The second one is you should be comfortable to learn with computers. If you really do not like to work on computers, no, that's not for you. And the other one is you need to have a basic computer usage, including Microsoft Office, like Word, or you have to use like YouTube, because you have to know how to play videos on your computer, how to save your assignment, how to submit your assignment, how to update, or how to use emails. These are the very fundamental things that everybody is familiar today. So these are what are required from student to join online learning. So now let's go to what kind of resources and activities online learning can deliver us, can give us. If you would like to learn online learning, or if you like to produce an online course, remember that a well-designed 100% online course presents the following resources. You probably have few of or most of the resources in every single lesson. You have to include ebooks or textbooks or course books or journals. You have to include video lectures, just like the one you are watching now. You need to have recorded lectures or assignments, quizzes, discussion forum, live question and answer sessions, which is usually done in terms of technologies, video streaming technologies, or live video technologies like Zoom or Google Meet, and also interviews. We will discuss the details of every single activities and resources later on in our next course, which is Learning Management Portal. Let's go to the other important issue. That is the issue of examinations. How do we administer online exams? When do students take examinations? And is it really safe for students to take examinations online? And the other question we might ask, can we really say that examination which has been taken place online is equivalent with the exam which is given on the face-to-face classrooms? These are the questions we need to answer. So let's see. The first one is the tutors or administration has to work hard to ensure there is no or very, very low level of cheating, because it's really hard to say teaching is impossible at all. You can reduce the level of cheating, but it is very, very hard to completely eliminate it. You might have like 0 point something percent or 1% whatsoever percent. But the goal is to eliminate it all. But if not, you have to minimize, whether it is on online examination or on face-to-face examination. The good thing is online learning technologies, the learning management portals are equipped with various uh, plugins and softwares which are embedded in the learning management portal, which help us to check, to make sure that cheating is not possible here. One of them is called Turnitin, and this is okay. So it's Turnitin. Let's see, Turnitin. So Turnitin is a technology which helps us to check that there is no plagiarism while students are doing their assignment. Teachers usually give assignments. It might be a paper, it might be a thesis or dissertation, or it could be anything. And they have to understand that students are not allowed to copy some source from internet and submit it. No, that's not possible. As soon as students submitted the assignment, the teacher activates the Turnitin software so that it will check the entire work, whether it is plagiarized from some source or not. As soon as this system activated, it tells and summarizes how many percentage of that given work is plagiarized from where. Because of this technology nowadays, it's really very hard to cheat, especially in assignments and papers, if you are students of online learning. So that's one of the good things. This feature probably may not be possible for the face-to-face courses. As we know today in our universities, many students are snatching some part from internet and copy paste and submit it. And it's because there is no, the technology is not there, it's very hard for professors to find out unless otherwise they individually use this software. But with the online learning, it's already embedded, it's automatic. The other one is, this is in terms of assignment, but in terms of examination, we need to really talk a little bit about how examination is conducted in online setting. Examination can be taken either in the form of formative or summative. When you say formative, it is a continuous level in the form of quiz every week. If there are 8 weeks throughout the semester, students will take one small quiz every week, probably scored out of 10 or less. Or it might be more, depending on the number of quizzes the teacher has developed. But obviously, there should be at least one quiz every week, a minimum. So those quizzes can be checked again as a software, or those quizzes will be done in the form of assignment or open book assignment, and there should be another examination which is called final exam. The summative exam is the final exam. The final exam is the most serious exam where students are required to download some sort of software. For example, it's called ExamSoft. You probably need to download that software. If you download that software, the software has three purposes. The first purpose is it locks down your browser. You cannot go and Google it because Google is not working anymore. Once you install the software, for the time being until you finish your examination, you have to you cannot use Google and you cannot go other sources and check it. The other one is there is a video monitoring or a video proctoring. Whenever you take the examination in online session, you need to have your video camera on your computer. If you have a laptop, you have to use the laptop computer. If you don't have, you can use your cell phone camera, but it should be opened and should be recording everything from start to the end. And the other one is in the software, there is an artificial intelligence element, AI element, where it analyzes what you are doing, whether you are getting some support, and so on and so forth. You cannot even move your head from camera. If you are moving from your head somewhere from the camera, so the software detects and the proctor, which is somewhere else, which is investigating like 40 or 50 students at a time in a video, can terminate your examination. You'll be disqualified if you are found cheating. And the other thing is, when you take online examination, you should be in an empty room. It should be your bedroom or your living room. It doesn't matter where you are, but you should be alone. There should not be anyone around. That is one of the requirements before you start the examination. You have to turn on your video. There should be nobody inside. Your computer will be controlled by the software. And finally, there is a human behind the screen who is following what you do. This is how online examinations are usually carried out, and many universities have found it very successful. And in some cases, if there are problems of doing or having this technology for some reason, then there is another option. You have to go to uh, a local exam center where there are computers, and you will take your your test from there with a proctor observing your work. And in some other cases, some universities use local proctors. Those local proctors usually do, uh, they investigate your work. For example, it might be a university professor somewhere, and you have to give his name, and the university will give the examination code for the university professor you just recommended, and you will go to his office, you sit down there, and you will take the examination under his proctorship. So that's another option. So there are plenty of mechanisms and methods where you have to take online exams, and there are plenty of technologies that the university can make sure that uh, cheating on online examination is reduced to the minimum or to get eliminated at all. So this is a pictorial representation of how proctored exam works. You can see there is a candidate here. It's you who's gonna take the exam, and this is the learning management system. That is online technology where you take your courses and you take your examination, and there is a proctor somewhere else. And these are the tools, like the ones, the technology I've told you. And because of this technology is embedded with the learning management system, the proctor can control the candidate, and the possibility of cheating is really very, very minimal. Now let's go to the other important issue, that is the support for online learners. So we probably need to ask a question. How do learners get support while they are learning online? Yes, there is plenty of support with online learning. If students have questions, the first thing is there is a teacher, a dedicated instructor or professor who is assigned for that course. They can contact him with email, sometimes with phone, and talk the problems and have solved it. Second one, there is a dedicated technical support team. If you have any questions, you can go and you can make a call or have a chat or email and get technical support, which is in relation to whether you get access or forget your password and so on and so forth. So that dedicated technical support teams usually works like 24/7, will be there for you. And the other one is your course teacher or your tutor usually are assigned to have a forum, a group conference, a video conference, minimum 3 times per semester. That is in addition to your individual contact and correspondence. On this time, you cannot miss those correspondences, you cannot miss those conferences, those forums, and students will bring their questions and the teacher will solve the problem, and that session probably lasts between 2 to 3 hours every term, every time they have the meeting. That's another source how students get support. And finally, there is a PLP. A PLP means personalized learning plan. This is a kind of plan which is done by the College of the University Office of Registrar or Admission or Student Center. And the idea is every student will be assigned a course advisor or a course counselor. That course counselor will sit down with the student and find out the missing elements in his curriculum. For example, the student might confess that he has a problem or limitation or gap in language. If he says a language, that student especially will be given an additional course to the regular curriculum, which is called personalized learning plan. This is very, very important because not every student has the same level of knowledge. If somebody has or some student has missed something or has some gap, that gap should not be the gap of everyone because it is only the personalized gap there should be a personalized learning plan. So PLP is very, very important element of online learning, where students can get their own special support and special curriculum in addition to the formal curriculum they have. So these are how students get support while they study online. Now, finally, let's go to the summary, and we'll summarize by debunking the myths and underlining the facts about online learning. What are the myths about online learning? Which means what things are commonly perceived that online learning is, whereas it's not. The first perception students have, or many people have, is you will have to study the entire course material by yourself. This is the thing that many people consider, many people think. Do you think that that is true? Let's see. The other one is there is no interaction with instructors and classmates. That's another misunderstanding. And some people say online courses are easier than on-campus courses. And some others think you have to be tech wizard to take these online courses. And some others say online degree is not recognized by employers. Now, these are all misconception about online learning. And let's see the reality here. These are the facts about online learning. Unlike the first one who says you have to study online learning by yourself, the fact is online class instructors are responsible to teach the course as they would in a brick and mortar classroom. So you are not alone. The teacher is always there. It's not like watching a YouTube movie, a YouTube video. It's not like that. There is a well-organized curriculum. The instructor is there throughout the semester. You have assignments, you have classworks, you have homeworks. If you have questions, you can ask him or you can ask her. This is how it goes. And students are not alone at all. They are always with their instructors. The second one is with advancement of technology, online education has now become very effective and interactive. So the idea was there is no interaction with online learning. No, there is a huge level of interaction. There is a forum. In the forum, students can work with their friends, uh, their classmates about the assignment which is given. Sometimes the teacher might give them a Wikipedia course. They will do their assignments and post on Wikipedia. We have an inside Wikipedia. We don't mean that as the general Wikipedia, but it's called Wiki. So if you are given an assignment, Wiki assignment, then you have to do your articles and you have to post it on the local Wiki, and students will review your Wiki. And there is plenty of interaction among students. So it's not students alone, and there is high degree of interaction. The other one, these online courses are challenging as their on-campus counterparts. There is nothing like online is difficult or on campus is difficult, this is or that is. They're all the same because they are designed in terms of following a specific curriculum which is given by the government or the university legislature. The other one is to pursue an online course, you don't have to be or you don't have to have a prior technical knowledge. So it doesn't need a very sophisticated technical knowledge. It's already discussed earlier. So as long as you have the basics of online learning, you can achieve it. Finally, online courses are considered reputable enough to be recognized by employers. For your surprise, several employers themselves are getting their degrees from online or in distance form. So everyone knows, the government knows, and your employers knows that online learning and face-to-face learning has the same value. So that's it. So when you conclude, we probably ask a question, which one is better? Now, this question cannot be answered in a single way. There is nothing like this one is better, this one is not better. But what matters most is what is your motive? What kind of situations you have? Do you have plenty of time? Can you walk or can you drive every day to the college? If you have that kind of research and if you have the perception that you will be happy while you physically interact with students or instructors. You probably need to choose face-to-face learning or traditional learning. But if you are in a shortage of time, if you want to save a ton of money, which otherwise you will spend for transportation, if you don't have permission from your work to go and learn either in evening or regular class, but if you like to learn it, to study it overnight, you probably choose online learning. So there is no one single answer, but it depends on your motive and the situations you have. And so that's all about the first section of the course, and I hope you have get general conception about what online learning looks like, and I hope we'll meet on our next course, which is learning management system. Thank you very much for listening.